Cutting across to Mamata Banerjee here, she's on her way to file her nomination for Bhabanipur constituency bypolls. Remember, Mamata Banerjee, for her, this is almost a compulsion to win. If not, then her chief minister's post will be on shaky grounds. It's going to be uncertain for her. And this is Bhabanipur, where she's going to be filing her nomination. And the BJP now, who's fielded a candidate, Priyanka Tibrewal, a lawyer who's extensively worked on ground, fighting against the post-poll violence and in fact pushing for investigations to be taken up against several TMC leaders. Priyanka Tibrewal will be facing Mamata Banerjee, the chief minister, the lady who's managed to win a sweeping victory in West Bengal, the recent assembly elections. Mamata Banerjee now, right after she lost against Suvendu Adhikari in Nandigram by just a whisker, she's now going to be contesting from Bhabanipur. And if she does not win this, then that only means that her position as the chief minister will be quite a question. In fact, Mamata Banerjee right now is on her way. Live visuals coming in here, where she's going to be filing her nomination from Bhabanipur. Nonetheless, all these years, Mamata Banerjee has won from Bhabanipur. This is her traditional stronghold. It's her constituency where she's managed to make inroads and won that seat time and again. Mamata Banerjee now comes back to her traditional constituency, Bhabanipur, to file her nomination this time. The bypolls will be carried out, the results of which will come out on the 3rd of October. Mamata Banerjee seems quite confident, and so is Priyanka Tibrewal. Remember, Priyanka Tibrewal is a BJP candidate in Bhabanipur. She will be taking on Mamata Banerjee. This is, of course, going to be a tough challenge for Priyanka Tibrewal, undoubtedly, considering Mamata Banerjee's stronghold. Bhabanipur has been a stronghold for Mamata, and in that view, Priyanka might have a tough time to topple her opponent in Mamata Banerjee's traditional constituency. But nonetheless, this is a fight that will be, of course, closely watched. Mamata Banerjee and Priyanka Tibrewal to face off in Bhabanipur, West Bengal bypolls. Here are visuals coming in. Mamata Banerjee enters to file her nomination. She's going to be filing a nomination to contest from Bhabanipur constituency, her traditional stronghold. In fact, Mamata gave up Bhabanipur. Initially, the plan was to fight from Bhabanipur as well as Nandigram, two constituencies, and right after she received intense flack from the opposition BJP in West Bengal, saying that she was insecure and she was sure that she wouldn't win. That's why she held on to Bhabanipur. She, in a bid to challenge the BJP, gave up Bhabanipur, her traditional stronghold, and then moved over to fight against Suvendu Adhikari.
আচ্ছা তো তোমাকে দিয়ে দিয়েছি বাংলার লোক আছে তুই আসবি কবিতা দিয়ে দেখে না
Constituency that Mamata Banerjee has quite a strong hold in Bhabanipur. As per, of course, our reporters on ground, this is a traditional constituency for her. She has won time and again from Bhabanipur. But the recent assembly elections, Mamata Banerjee wanted to fight Suvendu Adhikari in a bid to challenge the BJP that she will ensure that Suvendu Adhikari, who was once her strong man, her right-hand man, a very close aide of Mamata Banerjee, she decided to give up Bhabanipur, her traditional seat, and take up Nandigram to fight against Suvendu Adhikari. Against Suvendu Adhikari, even though, of course, it didn't go down too well. Mamata Banerjee cried foul. She said that was the election itself. The Nandigram result was rigged. She called this foul play. and eventually even appealed to court, but that matter is still to be extensively discussed. But nonetheless, after now finally accepting that she's been defeated in Nandigram, here's Mamata Banerjee coming back to her stronghold, Bhabanipur. Now, Priyanka Tibrewal from the BJP will now be fighting Mamata Banerjee. Priyanka Tibrewal has in fact extensively fought against the post-poll violence in West Bengal and of course against the Mamata Banerjee government, pushing for investigations to be taken up against several TMC leaders. The matter was in court. Priyanka Tibrewal has fought for the people, in fact the BJP workers who felt targeted. She was the one representing them in court as well. So she's been on ground, quite a popular face for the BJP. Priyanka Tibrewal will be taking on Mamata Banerjee from Bhabanipur. Here are live visuals coming in on the left-hand side of your screens. You can see Mamata Banerjee, who's now seated. She's just all set to file her nomination. In fact, Bhabanipur Bypolls is slated for 30th of September, and eventually the counting will take place on the 3rd of October when the results will come out. Now, if this does not happen, if this does not goes the way that Mamata Banerjee hopes to, if she does not win this seat, then it will be a huge blow for Mamata Banerjee, because her chief ministerial seat itself will be in jeopardy, and that's precisely why Mamata Banerjee appears has come back to her stronghold Bhabanipur, hoping to win this time. Let me cut across to Prema Rajaram. Prema, we see Mamata Banerjee seated right there inside the office filing her nomination. She is going to be taking on BJP's Priyanka Tibrewal in Bhabanipur. We know for Mamata Banerjee, possibly this is her stronghold. She knows the nitty-gritties, the nook and corner of Bhabanipur. She's won it time and again. But this time, after she gave up Bhabanipur, does she have the same clout? What do you see on ground?
As far as the BJP is concerned, they say that Mamata has deserted Bhabanipur and she went to Nandigram, she's lost there, and now come back to Bhabanipur, which means that people will have lost faith in her. But that is what BJP says. As far as Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee are concerned, they are confident that she will emerge victorious from here, because she has won from here twice and been the MLA here twice. And since she is popular, that is what the Trinamool Congress says, she's worked for the people, she will be winning from here. But again, she's got also Priyanka Tibrewal from the BJP, and she's got the CPI-M candidate, Srijib, also to contend again. So not a cakewalk there for Mamata Banerjee. She will try and garner as many votes as possible. And today is an important day for Mamata as she goes to file her nomination for the September 30th Bypoll. Back to you.
Of course, here we know that Mamata Banerjee is going to be taking on Priyanka Tibrewal of the BJP, but any other party candidates who will be fighting Mamata Banerjee, would you have an idea? If the Congress, we believe, has now decided not to field a candidate, but has a confirmation come from the Congress itself that they will not field a candidate in Bhabanipur?
So far, what we know is that the Congress has decided not to field a candidate from Bhabanipur and give the BJP an advantage. So that is what the Congress has to say. But for now, it is the CPI-M in fray, it's a BJP in frame, it's a three-pronged fight. However, of course, for the BJP, they say it's just a two-pronged fight. That CPI-M is not in the fray. But for Mamata Banerjee, not a cakewalk there. She will have to contend against Priyanka Tibrewal from the BJP. The BJP has chosen a lady candidate there from Bhabanipur seat, and Priyanka Tibrewal, known as the petitioner of violence in the Calcutta High Court. And after the verdict, somewhere for the BJP, they feel they've already won one battle against the state government. This is the second battle, and it is about that battle for the people that the BJP is fighting for, and which is why Priyanka Tibrewal has been fielded as a candidate. So Mamata will have to contest for her seat as the chief ministerial post, but also have to fight against the BJP putting forward their might as well as the CPI-M. Back to you.
Well, yes, it appears that Mamata Banerjee seems quite confident. She's filing her nomination. But what choice does she have here, Prema? If you really look at it, Mamata Banerjee, if she does not win Bhabanipur constituency, then her chief minister's seat itself will be in jeopardy. And that's what she knows very well. The TMC knows very well as well. So they're going to play all their cards right to ensure that she wins. But what's the kind of popularity Priyanka Tibrewal holds, apart from that, in that constituency? What connection does she have with Bhabanipur?
Well, Priyanka Tibrewal is confident that the people of Bhabanipur will support her supporters there, the BJP supporters will be in her favor, because she says that she has grown up there. It is not new to her, so that is familiar ground for her. And somewhere when she speaks about Mamata Banerjee, she says that Mamata is the one who's not really there from Bhabanipur. She probably came in later, but Priyanka considers herself as someone who's a daughter of Bhabanipur, so to speak. And as far as Priyanka is concerned also, since she's won the first fight against Mamata Banerjee and the state government in the post-poll violence case at the Calcutta High Court, this is another fight that she has to watch out for. But she says most so it is for the people of Bengal that she is standing in this fight, and she says that whatever fight it may be, she will not back away from that fight. So a confident Priyanka Tibrewal there, even though she knows she has to contend against Mamata Banerjee, who considers Bhabanipur as her stronghold. Back to you.
Well, of course, this time we're looking at the Congress as well as the left, possibly the Congress and left alliance. We know that they drew a blank in the assembly elections this time. So they do understand that the TMC is a strong player here, and there's no point fighting against Mamata Banerjee, it appears, which is why Congress has now stepped back. So it's a free way for Mamata Banerjee. The match will be between Mamata Banerjee and BJP's Priyanka Tibrewal only. That's what it appears seemingly for now.
It appears to be a two-pronged fight, but the CPM says that they are very much in the fight. It is a three-pronged fight, but that is what CPM says. They have fielded a new face, a young face, Srijib Biswas. He has been with the CPM for a while, but first time being fielded as a candidate from Bhabanipur constituency. He lives in that area, in that constituency. He's a lawyer by profession, says that he knows the area, the people will stand by him. But somewhere the CPM wants to show that they are very much in the fight, even though they had a poor show in the assembly elections and the May results really did not go very much to show that people were in favor of the Red Party. The CPM wants to send out that message that they're very much in the fight, even though the Congress has chosen not to put the candidate there. So Mamata will have to fight against the BJP, but somewhere the CPM also is hoping to garner some of these votes. Back to you.
Right. Tell us something about, you have, of course, Suvendu Chatterjee, who's won and resigned to make way for Mamata Banerjee. So this was quite a strategic game for the TMC to ensure that that seat is safe. It's kept safe. Whatever be the result in Nandigram, Bhabanipur is still safe for Mamata Banerjee. So it appears that that's how it's playing out.
It's a safe seat for the Trinamool Congress, safe seat for Mamata Banerjee, which is why when she had fielded Showdown from Bhabanipur in the assembly election, she knew that that seat would remain with the Trinamool Congress. She did dabble with going to Nandigram and contesting from there. The results, however, did not go in her favor. This time around, even though Showdown has stepped down from Bhabanipur, he will be contesting from Khordha. So somewhere Mamata Banerjee not just asking Showdown to step down, but also making sure that he gets his rightful place, because somewhere she believes that Khordha is also a Trinamool Congress bastion.
All right, stay with...
আইনের দ্বারা প্রতিষ্ঠিত ভারতীয় সংবিধানের প্রতি যথার্থ আস্থা ও অনবদ্য পোষণ করে চলব এবং ভারতবর্ষের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও অখণ্ডতা তুলে ধরব।
Well, there you have it. Mamata Banerjee has just filed her nomination in Bhabanipur constituency bypolls. She is now going to be contesting the traditional seat. In fact, she will be taking on BJP's Priyanka Tibrewal. Congress, we believe, has decided not to field a candidate. CPI-M, according to Prema, is possibly going to be fielding a fresh face in that constituency right now. We're looking at the bypolls that will be taking place on the 30th of September. On the 3rd of October, hopefully the counting and results should come out. Remember, we're looking at Mamata Banerjee, who's come back to her stronghold. In fact, this was kept as a safe seat after Showdown Chatterjee, a TMC member who won from that constituency. Of course, on the TMC ticket, and then resigned only to make way for Mamata Banerjee. This was quite a plan, a strategy that was designed only to ensure that in case Mamata Banerjee loses out in Nandigram, then she comes back to the safe constituency. That's how exactly is being played out. Mamata Banerjee lost Nandigram by a whisker. Of course, it didn't. She didn't take it lying down. She cried foul, called this a rigged election, a rigged result itself in Nandigram. And after much opposition, has finally now accepted the fact and come back to her traditional constituency, Bhabanipur. She has now just filed her nomination. Mamata Banerjee there.
Thank you so much.
There you have it. Mamata Banerjee has just filed a nomination for Bhabanipur constituency bypolls. In fact, she ensured that Sobandev Chatterjee, who was a TMC candidate, wins and resigns to make way for Mamata Banerjee. And Mamata Banerjee now will be contesting the bypolls here. She'll be fighting against Priyanka Tibrewal, who's the BJP's candidate, a lawyer by profession. Priyanka Tibrewal is a popular face on television. She's been constantly vocal of the kind of post-poll violence that's taken place in West Bengal, blaming the TMC, of course. Priyanka Tibrewal has been a ferocious voice for the BJP in West Bengal on ground. Now let me quickly cut across to, we have our reporter on ground, Indrajit, joining us for more on that. Indra, please take us through exactly what you see there. Do you see a warm reception and welcome for Mamata Banerjee as she comes to file a nomination in Bhabanipur, or are people upset? Have they felt like Mamata Banerjee has deserted them, like the way BJP has, of course, described this, that Mamata Banerjee left behind her traditional stronghold, deserted her own people, and then went to Nandigram? What do people on ground, though, feel?
Well, Nabila, the mood is upbeat as far as the Trinamool Congress workers in Bhabanipur is concerned. Remember, this is Mamata Banerjee's erstwhile constituency. It's considered somewhat of a stronghold as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned. She won it in 2016 with a handsome margin. She had first won it in 2011 in a bypoll. In a handsome margin as well. So she's been winning from Bhabanipur for several times now, and therefore Trinamool Congress believes that it's going to be an easy game as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned. In fact, the entire Trinamool Congress leadership is putting all their might to make Mamata Banerjee win out here. And if we analyze the results of the previous elections, we will see that Trinamool Congress has a handsome lead over the nearest rival. Last time it was Deepa Dashmulsi from Congress. And Nabila, you can see live right now Mamata Banerjee coming out after filing her nomination. She's likely to speak, and we will try and listen in as to what Mamata Banerjee is going to say. Didi! Didi! Didi!
Ma'am, how confident are you, ma'am?
All right, so Mamata Banerjee refuses to interact with the media here. She refuses to speak. Mamata Banerjee, of course, leaving right now. And it was about 15 minutes that Mamata Banerjee was here at the Alipur survey building where she filed her nomination. So Mamata Banerjee making her way out. Very tight security. Of course, the media was waiting. We were all waiting outside since morning, expecting that she would say something, but she did not. 3 days back, she held a workers' meeting in her own constituency where she had a lengthy address for her workers. But as I said, this is a very, very important battle here at Bhabanipur. It's a crucial battle. It's a prestige fight as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned. A lot at stake for Mamata Banerjee. The stakes, in a sense, are much less for the BJP because Mamata Banerjee is the chief minister. And she needs to win this seat at any cost to retain her chief minister's post. She has already won the West Bengal Assembly elections with a thumping majority. So the burden of expectation, at the same time, the fact that she needs to win very badly to retain her chief minister's position, that is weighing down on the Trinamool Congress, no doubt about it. However, the advantage for the Trinamool Congress is that Mamata Banerjee has been fighting and contesting from Bhabanipur for several times now. In fact, this constituency is not very far away from where she stays in Kalighat. So in a sense, she's a local person out here. And despite having those technical advantages, Mamata Banerjee had decided to vacate Bhabanipur and take the challenge in East Midnapur's Nandigram. And that, many would say, was a master stroke, because some electoral pundits say, political pundits say, that swung the entire mood in favor of the Trinamool Congress in the 2021 Assembly elections. Now, in hindsight, many say that possibly that was a mistake, but the Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee does not really believe that was a mistake. They really think that it was a master stroke that had worked well. However, there was a conspiracy, and therefore she was declared the loser in Nandigram. So now Mamata Banerjee and Trinamool Congress, of course, gearing up. And if I can show you this entire area, my camera person can show. What has happened, of course, is generally when you see people like Mamata Banerjee, or for that matter, heavyweights like Mamata Banerjee coming to file their nomination, you would see a lot of supporters gathering along with them. Nothing of that sort was ensured this time because of the COVID situation. There was a lot of worry within the Trinamool circles whether or not the Election Commission will at all announce elections within the stipulated period of 6 months. So that Mamata Banerjee can come victorious and retain her.
All right, so it is going to be, of course, high stakes for Mamata Banerjee, like you did say. It's an all-important constituency that she's got to win. If not, her chief minister's seat will be in jeopardy, and that's what's clear right now. Mamata Banerjee coming back to her traditional stronghold, Bhabanipur, files her nomination, as you see on your television. Mamata Banerjee will be taking on Priyanka Tibrewal, who is a BJP candidate, a lawyer by profession. In fact, Priyanka Tibrewal has spoken exclusively to India Today's Prema Rajaram. Let's cut across.
जिस दिन ममता बनर्जी अपना नॉमिनेशन फाइल करी, उसी दिन बीजेपी प्रियंका तिब्रेवाल को अपने उम्मीदवार घोषित किया है. आपको कैसे लग रहा है? इट इज अ टफ फाइट, लेकिन आप बहुत ही कॉन्फिडेंट हो.
देखिए, पार्टी ने ये मेरे ऊपर विश्वास किया है, उसके लिए मैं अपनी पार्टी की बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ. लेकिन उससे भी ज्यादा मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि मैं भाजपा की जो कैंडिडेट है उससे ज्यादा मैं पश्चिम बंगाल के लोगों की कैंडिडेट हूं. इसका कारण ये है कि आप सबने देखा है कि पिछले 5 महीनों में जो लड़ाई यहाँ हुई है, उसमें जो लोगों ने मेरे ऊपर अपना विश्वास दिखाया है, जो शहीद परिवारों ने विश्वास दिखाया है, जिन महिलाओं का बलात्कार हुआ उन्होंने विश्वास दिखाया है, जिन लोगों को उनके घर तक पहुंचाया मैंने, उन्होंने वो विश्वास दिखाया है. आप देखिए, हर